If a woman stops you at night and asks, "Am I beautiful?" you have about 2 seconds to answer. Welcome to the story of Kuchisake-Onna, the slit-mouthed woman. And this is where things stop being just a story. Picture it for a second. Be honest. You're walking home, maybe scrolling on your phone, maybe with one earbud in, pretending you're aware of your surroundings. Quiet street, nothing unusual. Then you notice her. A woman wearing a mask. And you don't think twice, right? Of course you don't. Masks are normal. That's why this works. Nothing feels off until she speaks.
Am I beautiful?
And now you're already thinking about what you'd say. Be polite, say yes, keep walking. Yeah, that instinct, that's the problem. Because say no and it ends immediately. No buildup, no warning. Say yes and you think you handled it, until she lowers the mask. And now you see it. Her mouth cut from ear to ear. Not messy, not random. Clean, deliberate, wrong. Then she asks again.
How about now?
And this is the moment where, if you're imagining yourself there, you probably realize something important. You're not choosing anymore. You're just reacting. And whatever you say next doesn't fix anything. It just decides how it ends. In many versions, saying no gets you killed on the spot. Saying yes doesn't save you. She cuts your mouth to match hers. Same smile, same face, same story. And I know what you're thinking. Okay, but there has to be a trick. There always is, right? You'll hear things like, answer so-so, or throw candy, or just run. Which sounds great until you actually picture it. You, in the middle of the night, negotiating with that. If your plan involves small talk or snacks, it's not a great plan. Now here's where it gets more interesting. Because this didn't just appear out of nowhere. Accounts of a slit-mouthed woman show up in Japan at least as far back as the Edo period, with regional variations. In some versions, she appears on foggy roads. In others, near schools or residential streets. The details shift, but the core stays the same. A covered mouth, a question about beauty, and a second question that traps you. The origin most people recognize is this. She was once a woman known for her beauty, married to a samurai. Jealous, controlling, convinced something was wrong. Some stories say she was unfaithful, others say he only believed she was. Either way, it ends the same. One day he snaps, takes a blade and cuts her mouth open from ear to ear, then asks, "Who will think you're beautiful now?" And that moment didn't end. It shifted, because now she asks it. To strangers, to people walking alone, to anyone who answers. And here's the part I want you to actually think about. The story didn't stay in the past, it adapted. Older tellings place her on empty roads in traditional clothing. Modern ones bring her closer. Mask, coat, streetlights. She blends in. She looks like anyone else, until she speaks. And this isn't just storytelling. In the late 1970s, rumors spread across Japan about sightings. Schools told kids not to walk alone. Parents organized groups. Some reports mentioned police warnings, not because they confirmed anything supernatural, but because the reaction was real. People changed their behavior. And that's the detail that makes this stick. She doesn't chase you. She doesn't need to. She creates a moment where you feel like you have to respond. And the second you do, you're already part of it. So imagine it again. You're alone, maybe distracted. Someone steps in front of you, face covered, voice calm, and asks, "Am I beautiful?" Be honest. What do you say? Because whatever you're thinking right now is probably exactly what gets you stuck there. And that's why the safest thing you can do is nothing. No answer, no reaction, just walk away. Because once you engage, you don't leave that moment. And now let me ask you something. Have you ever had that feeling like someone's watching you, even when you're alone? Not something obvious, just that small moment where you look up from your phone for no real reason. Yeah, that one. Maybe it's nothing, or maybe it's exactly the kind of moment stories like this rely on. And if you want more stories like this, The kind that feel normal right up until they don't. Subscribe, because the next one might hit a little closer than you expect.